Hey everybody, welcome to this video of hashtag girlboss. I'm so excited. So I wanted to do these as live videos so that you guys can get on and have a conversation with me about these books. So hopefully the more that I do, the more people would get on. But just so that I can do a quick overview, and then if anyone pops on, we can talk about it. Okay, first of all, here is hashtag girlboss by Sophia Amoruso. And I have to say, she is probably one of the most candid writers that I've ever, or authors that I've ever read. She is so funny. And when you're reading this book, it's almost as if she's talking to you as if you were friends, which is so nice. I think that those books are always so much more enjoyable because they're relatable and they're just flat out more enjoyable. So the first 4 chapters in the book kind of sets the stage for who she was growing up and who she was as a young adult. She talks about how she used to dumpster dive for bagels, which I think is craziness. And then how she used to shoplift. She shoplifted, I think her first one, or one that she mentions that I remember, is a Michael Kors watch from Nordstrom's. And she's just so, she drove cross country. She hitchhiked cross country, and she was playing on the truck drivers' CB radios, harassing the other truck drivers. She just seems like such a kick-ass person and so very different from myself. I haven't done some of the things that she's ventured to do. She's definitely a badass. But so the first 4 couple of chapters, thank you, baby, for saying that I'm the real girl boss, by the way. I appreciate that. So the first 4 chapters talk all about that stuff, and it's really, really funny. And then it kind of gets into this meat of how she started Nasty Gal and eventually turned it into what is we now know Girl Boss. Not that they're the same thing. Nasty Gal is a fashion thing. Girl Boss is a business thing. So just wanted to clarify that. Not the same thing. But I just wanted to highlight probably 3 takeaways from the book that I had so that you guys know that if you either watch this video later or read the blog post about it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about was she talks a lot about saving your money and credit card debt and things of that nature. And one of her chapters is credit cards below. And there's a side of me, I 100% agree with that. Credit cards are tough. When Thomas and I graduated with our undergrad, we moved in together, and I started working at the Utah Department of Health, and we both found ourselves with some credit card debt. A lot of mine I acquired in college because college was a little tough for me. I had to scrimp by, and almost everything that I made from the job that I had was going towards rent and bills. So I did not have much spending cash, and hence the credit card debt, which was not good, but a reality. But I tell that story because later on, it was right around the time Thomas and I got married, we decided that we wanted to get out of debt. And so we put a plan together, we put a budget together, and we got out of debt. We paid off our credit card debt, and, we had to go without Starbucks for a while. No big deal. We got through it. It was a short-term thing, but it had such a long-term effect on us because working so hard to get that debt off made us realize that we don't ever want to get in that type of debt again. So now on the flip side of that, I do think credit cards are a good thing because for the obvious reasons, they build your credit. I think that if you can view your credit cards as a debit card instead, that is the way to go. And that's how I've viewed my credit card ever since I've gotten out of debt. If I go to make a purchase and I don't have that amount in the bank, I just don't buy it because at the end of the month, I want to be able to pay off whatever I've put on my credit card. But I use my credit card for every purchase because I do want to build my credit. And it also tracks your spending. So, hold on. Sorry, got distracted there. So if, I can't remember what I was talking about now. Credit card debt. There was a time before banking got mobile that I was doing a spreadsheet of all of our spending, all of our bills, so that we would know kind of financially where we stood. Now with mobile banking, it's so much easier to do that, and I think that it should be done. I try to do it every so often just to keep on track and know what I'm spending all my money on. And so it's nice having mobile banking. Anyways, so that was one of the takeaways that I got from that. One of the things that she was saying in the book, where was that? I mean, it's funny because she was like dumpster diving and then she was stealing stuff. And then she ended up getting a credit card and yeah. The first thing she bought was a bra, I think at Victoria's Secrets, and ended up not paying the debt off. And so like ended up racking an insane amount of money for a $28 bra. It's insane. But yeah. Okay, so moving on. One of the other things, she's really good at talking about like how she built her business and kind of the things that she did to build her business. And so one of the things she does talk about was that she didn't spend money on herself. She wanted to invest everything back in the business. And you hear that from a lot of business owners, that they want to build their business. That's like their number one thing. So they go without buying the, day-to-day stuff, which is fine. Like, you can go without a pair of shoes if you're building a business. Some people, they need their shoes, teach their own. But I definitely hear a lot of that from people who have businesses. Hey, Dermalogic, thanks for joining. Let me know if you've read this and you want to add anything. Because I can split screen with you and I'll add you in if there's anything, so just let me know. Okay, so I was talking about how she was building a business. It was so interesting just hearing her story. Like, she talks a lot about, like, how she grew as an individual. For instance, there was a section where she was talking about how she felt like she was the most inexperienced person in the room, but yet she was the one calling the shots because she had built this $1 million company, and how she kind of had to have a realization with herself that she needed to know when to speak up and actually speak up and do something, and when to like close her mouth, which I think is good because a lot of us, that's a tough lesson to learn, when to speak and when to not speak. Let me see. So when she goes in, there's like this whole section about like how you hire, fire, and how to be a good employee, and like her do's and her don'ts. And oh my gosh, I've got to find that section really quick. It was so funny. She was talking about things that she had actually like seen happen before. I guess someone showed up for a job interview like in a cocktail dress, like a nightclub dress, which I think is hilarious because why would you do that for a job interview? Okay, so in this section, it's like all the no-nos during an interview. Chewing gum, bringing things with you, such as a beverage, pet, or boyfriend. I don't know that I'd ever take a boyfriend or a husband or a child to a job interview. Picking your nose or your nails. I don't know what I would do if I was interviewing someone and they started doing that. I think that's disgusting. But this one I thought was interesting. Not having your phone visible. Like, I don't know who would do that. I mean, no matter what is going on in your life, you have 30 to 60 minutes that you can put your phone away to get a job interview, because that's going to dramatically improve your life and your situation. So I don't know what people are doing there. But anyway, so that's just an example of like what you get from this book. So the last thing that I wanted to kind of talk about that I think is interesting was she talks a lot about her like perspective on life and not letting negativity control her, and to treat your thoughts as if they're $1 million and not to waste them. And I just really appreciate that because, sorry, send a quest to be in your life. Okay, hold on. So we're going to put you in there, Thomas. Everybody, here comes my husband. Maybe. Okay, we're waiting for him to come in. Apparently he has something he would like to add while we wait for him. So there's...
Oh yeah.
What would you like to add? Did you
Yes.
ever... Did I talk to you about this one, right? But you never...
Right.
Part of it.
My biggest question, though, for you about it, because I didn't get to read it, is being a businesswoman yourself, what takeaway or inspiration did you get from the book that like helped motivate you maybe in the current stage that you're at with growing your business?
Oh, sure. I know where you're going out with this, I think. So I did a video, the Building Your Business Episode 2, Manufacturing, for those of you who don't know. But I talk all about how I'm trying to manufacture these party supplies. And I was reading this book, and in her book, she says to ask for what you want in life. Like, especially in a business, like you're not going to get what you want out of life if you don't ask for it. So I had this situation where I was expected to rent this 20-foot shipping container that was like an insane amount of money. It was like $28,000. And for me, that's a lot of money because I'm just starting out a business and I don't want to get in a huge amount of debt to do that. So after talking to you, actually, I remember talking to you about it, Thomas. And then that same night, I read that part of the book and I was like, oh my gosh. So I got on my computer, I contacted the manufacturer and I said, is there any possible way I could like share a container with one of your clients, like your other clients? Because mama don't be needing a 20-foot container. I mean, that would have been like millions of party supplies like loaded in our basement. So
For sure.
yeah, well, so that was definitely a big takeaway for me.
Cool. Thanks for letting me jump on. I hope other people jump on because you got a lot to give with this book. So.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for jumping on.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so if any of you all want to do that with me, just comment below and I'll split screen you in and we can talk about it. So, and there's a lot of people on. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining. So I was just talking about kind of the third takeaway, which is also kind of my last takeaway, but I'll keep talking as long as you all want. But Sophia, she talks a lot about how she stays positive in her place of work. She actually has like she wants to set a really positive culture at in her business. And so she has different quotes everywhere. And there's like, I forget what page it's on, but it was pretty like basic things, but things that you kind of forget when you're in the workplace, but just like being respectful, like realizing that every idea is a good idea, not knocking on it, like things of that nature. And I just think that that's really important. I'm definitely one of those like glass half full type people. And I think that you can get further ahead by having a positive attitude. I want to try to find one of her quotes on that. Okay, so here we go. I've also had to learn how to rein in my negative thoughts when it comes to business competition. That has really been kind of my issue. So at the end of last year was when I kind of stopped blogging for Hint of Lavender because I just realized like the blogger world is just not my thing. Like I don't want to sit here and try to build my life and myself up to motivate people to buy stuff. And I know that that's not the only thing bloggers do. Influencer marketing's totally awesome. I know a lot of people that make decent money from it and a living and enjoy doing it. It just was not for me. I don't want to be salesy and it just is not my thing. So when I read that in this book, it just really kind of affirmed my decision in stopping that blog and turning it into a business and then having Katie McMinn be a place for business people who want to get motivated to keep working and can learn from my lessons like the 20-foot shipping container because Lord have mercy, no one should have to pay for a 20-foot shipping container unless they're like an established business and can afford to do such. So that was really, those were all of my takeaways. I highly, highly recommend this book simply for the fact that for the two reasons. I appreciate the advice that she gives. I feel like it's really tangible, usable advice, which you don't really get in some business books. And then the second thing is there's no bullshit in it. Like she is totally honest. And that is something I appreciate too, because that's how I want to be and am. Like the fake thing just doesn't work for me. And I think that it kind of fades out and people can read through it and whatever. So, any of you that are on, do you have any questions or anything before I close? I want to make sure that I answer anything that you guys all have. There's quite a few of you. It doesn't show. Okay. Thank you all for getting on, and I'm waving back at you. Thank you for coming and spending, 15 minutes with me. I appreciate it. I stay posted because I want to do this again, as long as you all want to. I'll probably do like an Insta story, seeing what books you guys want to do next, and how you kind of like this platform. If you liked the live, and hopefully more people will split screen in next time, because I think that would be fun to have kind of more of a conversation about it than me just rambling on and such. So anyways, waving back to you all. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it.